with Boyi. Hello, beautifuls. Welcome to Happy, Healthy, and Free with Boyi. My name is Boyi Nataraja, and I'm here with a very, very, very special guest today, Attila Fulop, also known as Nature's Athlete. He is a super, super serious practitioner of the Mucusless diet healing system by Arnold Ehret, and he serves as an inspiration to thousands and thousands of people all around the world, to athletes and to common people who want to become more athletic. So I'm just so happy he is here. Welcome, Attila. How are you doing?
Hi there. Thank you. I'm very good.
Yeah, that's good. So where are you right now? Where are you in this country? I'm in California right now.
I'm based in Bristol, the United Kingdom, but originally I'm from Hungary.
Oh, okay. So you're all the way out there in the UK. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So for our audience who's not familiar with the Mucusless diet healing system, okay, I'll just let you guys know what it is briefly. It's basically a diet, I like to say, that consists of 3 parts. So one part is a gradual, safe transition towards cleaner foods meaning mucus-free foods, and this takes time. So mucus-forming foods are like meat, dairy, grains, processed foods, confectionaries, things like this. Second thing, it includes intermittent fasting, not intermittent, individually advised fasting. So sometimes short term, sometimes a little bit longer, just depending on your individual needs. And the third part, enemas, so colon irrigation. So that's very, very important. Did I miss anything, Attila? Anything you want to add to that definition?
No. I think that's it.
Oh.
Maybe we can add sunshine.
Oh, thank you.
And maybe we can add some conscious exercise. Body exercise, I mean.
I love that.
I think it's part of the package.
That's right, sunshine and conscious exercise. In fact, we are going to be talking about that today because, okay, I'm going to show you guys some pictures right now. Check out his muscles. This is just incredible. And I have to admit, I found him first through Instagram, because one late evening, I was just bored and I was looking at like hashtag mucusless diet or whatever. And I see this guy pop up and I'm like, whoa, who is this guy? So I click on these photos. I'm like, oh my goodness, he really is a practitioner. And then I kind of stalk you a little bit. I go on your website. I'm like, wow, he's really serious. You've written books and you do coaching. So yeah, so I was like, I got to meet this guy. I got to interview him. And I want to learn, we want to learn from you as far as how to build muscle, because I know a lot of people think that if you go on the Mucusless diet healing system, you will lose all your muscles, you look like a skeleton. And people have so many misconceptions about this diet. And yes, some people might be slim on this diet, but they don't have to be, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
in terms of muscle building, it's very important to understand that it's a hard work. So it doesn't come easily. No matter what you diet, no matter what kind of diet you're on, no matter what you do, building muscle is a hard work.
Oh,
and people tend to forget it or not being aware of it. So it's very important, especially on this lifestyle. People come from different backgrounds, and most of them, they don't have any background. Not just about bodybuilding. It's about like doing sports, in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important to understand what it takes to build muscle and what it does.
Right.
Because if you're detoxifying and you're detoxifying on this lifestyle, basically, you have to keep it in mind what you're doing, because muscle building is not really compatible with detoxification. So if you want to be muscular, then you have to find the golden middle ground. in this. And
I
that's
see.
what, Eert understood, that yes, you have to do exercises because it supports detoxification, because you have to move your body, you have to move your muscles, let the blood flow, let the lymph flow, everything. Because if you're just sitting, it's not going to happen. So you have to move. But how much and how hard you do that, that's the question.
I see. Yeah, this is very, very interesting. And so, yeah, I would love for you to school us on this, but before we get deeper into it, can you tell us just briefly a little bit about your backstory? Like, what was your diet like before you got into this? Were you
Oh,
always
yes.
super buff like this, or were you born with abs, or did this come later? Yeah, and then
Yeah.
kind of let us know what inspired you to go on this thing, and then yeah.
Yeah, so my story is very unique, and I believe I'm a very controversial guy, and that's what I really like in myself, because it makes me very credible, So it started about 3 years ago, my journey, when my friend, who I had not seen for probably 10 years, popped up on Facebook. He was very passive on Facebook. He did not post anything, no pictures whatsoever. And one day he posted a picture of his leg, and it was just so lean and veiny. Before I saw bodybuilders, because I come from this background anyway. So I saw these guys, just before stage, lean and all that. But his leg was like freaky, like really freaky. And it wasn't the thing that grabbed my attention. It was rather the discussion that started below this post. And they were discussing Jesus, they were discussing God and spirituality. And that was the moment I knew that I have something there, for me. Because it's very important to understand, before this particular event, I had a spiritual awakening. And, I clearly remember that one day, after shopping, I was there in the kitchen. It's just a crisp image in my head. I was there standing in the kitchen, and I felt like there is a question mark levitating over my head, and I wasn't sure what's wrong, but there was something wrong with me, in me, or just in general, and I just felt like I don't feel good, And despite my previous experiences in dieting, in bodybuilding, in healthy eating, yes, depends where we look at it, yeah. So I had these experiences, and I wasn't sure whether is that the right thing to do, or there is something else I don't know about, and I have to find. And after that, I think about 2 weeks from that point, he came up with this fruit eating and everything. And yeah, and we had a discussion on Skype, and he told me everything about, the Mucusfree healing system and everything, and what the truth is. And I was like, oh, whoa, because, so my friend and me, we are basically like brothers. And it's not just about thinking similarly and all that. It's doing the same thing, because he was into bodybuilding before. And he went really far in terms of detoxification. He had 2 very long fasts, dry fasts and everything. So he was probably the cleanest guy I've ever known so far.
Wow.
So far. Wow. And I saw people. So and yeah, and he told me this, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this, And I told myself that, okay, I'm going to give it a try, and let's see. He gave me, I think, 3 or 4 names. He told me that, look, if you want to do this, go up on YouTube, search these names, study them, study everything, and then if you have questions, come back to me. And literally, it was probably my second job to do researches, and I just dug deep in this, really deep. And I spent all my free time to find out whether it's for me or not, or before I do anything.
Right.
And then probably about like one or 2 months, I told him that I'm going to do this. Okay, because it makes sense, and it did make sense.
Yeah.
Despite where I came from,
Wow.
despite the so much chicken breast I ate in my life, and the rice and everything, all mucus forming foods. Despite that, it made a clear point that this is something that's that's true.
Beautiful.
It was so much resonating with me.
Beautiful.
And then I started, and it was very funny because the first time I went to the shop after this event, I bought fruits and vegetables. I filled up my cart only with fruits and vegetables. And I threw away so much vegetables because I only ate the fruits. It was so appealing to eat the fruits, and I was like, I'm not going to eat the carrots, and I'm not going to eat the cauliflowers or the broccoli because I don't want to eat that. I want the mangoes, I want the melons and all that. And since that, I haven't had a problem with it. So
wow.
I just ate on it, and most of the stuff I eat is fruits. So
oh, I see. Excellent. So primarily fruitarian.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, wow, thanks for sharing your story. So from what it sounds like, you kind of had like a spiritual awakening prior to you getting the information about the Mucusfree.
Yeah, it's very important,
Yes.
So it was a very important eye-opening period for me, not just in terms of spirituality, but in understanding like this dimension, this life, what it is, what's death, what's life, everything,
Beautiful.
And about success. It was a very important journey, but a bit going further away from the event of becoming a mucusless diet healing practitioner. I think your audience needs to understand that I was educated in agriculture and food processing. So basically, I have a degree in food quality management. So everything, like literally everything that was taught to me, it was about making mucus forming foods, pus forming foods, how to produce the raw materials, how to process them into whatever meat products, whatever dairy products, you name it. And that's my life. So I've always been a foodie guy.
Gotcha.
I am still really deep in it because I'm a cheesemaker right now.
Oh, you
That's
are?
my occupation.
Oh.
So I'm doing this. That's why I told you this is a very controversial story. I am a cheesemaker, but I am a mucusless diet healing practitioner.
Right.
With all the knowledge, all the wisdom that comes with it.
Got it. Yeah, that's controversial for sure.
So to me, it's very hard. It's very challenging to do this.
Yeah.
And there is no day without thinking about it and why am I doing this and how long it will take to get out. Because what people need to understand that, everything, all your education is about food. Everything is about food. Your job, your previous jobs and everything. Now, okay, if I wanted to change career, for example, because I wanted to get away from food, which I did before, but I got back into it. So it's like a swamp. It's like a slimy stuff that you're stuck into it, and it's very hard to get out because people will hire you to do a job if you are good at something, right? So I'm good at making cheese, and this is my life basically. There is my life, and who the hell would want me to sit in an office and input data or something? Because what they see is my CV or resume.
Sure.
What's written there, that's what matters. It's not the person anymore. So this is today's problem, that that employers do not look at the person, but something that's written on the CV. So that's very, very annoying. And this is how life works at the moment.
It's all right. It's a transition. I mean, I had some jobs I was not happy in as well. While I transitioned on this diet, and as I went further and further into my personal transition, I noticed what I attracted into my life became more positive, of higher frequency. So no one can judge you because we've all had jobs of low frequency and whatever. And then as we you know, it's a process, it's a journey, it's a transition, all of it. So it's all beautiful. No one can judge you. And so, yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story there. And so I just want to
Yeah,
get
you're
into these details now on how to build muscle while on the Mucusless diet healing system, because I know our audience is just wanting to learn this. You know, let's just get rid of those misconceptions, because obviously
yeah,
from what I see in front of me right now,
yeah.
you are very muscular, your shirt's about to bust open. It's like, my goodness gracious. So let's listen to this expert over here who's
And I'm
eating.
not yet finished. And
Oh,
I'm not yet
oh,
finished.
sorry.
So
Go ahead. I got excited there.
yeah, no. I mean with muscle building. So
Oh, with your muscle
I'm
building.
still,
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like a child. I'm still growing.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, very
Yeah,
good. You're doing great.
yeah. So that's my goal to max it out. You know what is possible on this lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my main goal. So, but
Beautiful.
yeah. So um, let's talk about muscle building then.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give us a basic overview. I mean, I know it's not basic, it's complicated, but just for people completely new to this, just, you know, just whatever you think we need
Yeah.
to know as far as muscle building is concerned.
Okay. So building muscle it doesn't happen in the gym. Sorry to say that. That's the truth.
Wow, that's good. I don't like the gym.
Obviously, you will need the work in the gym, but it's a misconception that muscle building happens in the gym.
Oh.
Where actually it doesn't.
Oh.
Where muscle building happens is outside of the gym. As soon as you put down the weight and you go in a rest mode, because of course, obviously, it's recovery. So your body needs to catch up with the damage you caused in the gym and rebuild the tissues and all that. So that's how it starts. This is the most important to understand, because if you don't rest enough, you can train how much you want.
Oh.
You will never be able to be muscular.
Got it.
I think the interesting part of the muscle building linked to this lifestyle is understanding food and understanding whether it's the food that builds the muscle or something else builds muscle. Now, it's a detoxification process, so it's very important to understand what detoxification is and what it does to your body in general. But as I said earlier, so muscle building depends on how hard you work stops detoxification. That's the truth, because what you do. But so if you look at the IFBB pros, the huge bodybuilders out there, everything you see is basically inflammation.
Oh.
It is an inflamed muscle, inflamed tissue. That it's a constipation. You can see it's clear. I mean, to average people, it doesn't seem like that, but we know that it's like constipation. If you just look at the man, you see it's constipated.
Right.
And constipation. So, if you want to grow muscle on this lifestyle, because what you do, detoxification clears out everything, like all inflammation, everything. So what you do, you work against nature. You work against natural processes. Now that's why fruitarians who are really I'm not saying 100% fruitarians, but very close to that. They can't really have a huge body. It's not possible. It's not possible. You can have a lean and let's say skinny.
Yeah.
By which I don't mean skeleton. I mean like a very lean body. It's a small body. It's muscular.
Right.
But there is no really significant muscle mass on that body.
Right.
And that's what you can achieve. And as soon as you start, let's say, going to a mucus lean way, then you can eventually build more and more muscle. Because what you do, you reduce the rate of detoxification. So what you do, you counteract detoxification by stepping on the brake, basically.
Oh, okay. So you don't go too fast in your detoxification. Is how you build the muscle.
Yeah. So
got it.
So you can adjust. You can adjust if you want to be, because you can. be muscular on this lifestyle, but you have to accept that it is not compatible with detoxification. So if you want to be muscular, if you want to build muscle, then you have to deal with this. You have to understand that you have to stop detox. But I'm not saying you stop it because you can't stop detoxification. Even average people detoxify to an extent.
Yeah.
But if you want to, get high on fruits, if you want to be a very, very spiritual person, then bodybuilding is not for you. Because it will stop it. So in order to recover from a very hard workout, your body will be focusing on that, and it will drag the energy away from spiritual processes, spiritual awakening, and you will only be able to just rest or lay on the floor and all that. You will not be able to let's say to be, I know, because so before I restarted bodybuilding, because I had done bodybuilding before, but I had a 3-4 years pause before I entered this lifestyle, and I decided after probably 1.5 years while on the Mucusless diet healing system that I'm going to give it a go and see what I can achieve on this lifestyle, what is possible. But I knew clearly what am I going to do, because I knew that I will take away from something, and I felt so good without this bodybuilding. I was just out of this world. I was literally ready. So I was very, very high in fruits. I think most of the cases 100% fruits.
Wow.
And I started to reduce the amount of food intake, even fruits. I fasted a lot during the daytime and all that. So I achieved such a nice, and I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it, because it was like flying away like a little bird.
Aww.
I was very close to that point.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's like being high. There's no better word for that.
Right.
But as soon as I started this, I went down. I immediately felt that it just takes away the energy from my mind, from everything, just because to increase my density. So, in terms of food, I have a very different understanding. I think it differs from the Mucusless diet healing system a little bit. So, to me, density is everything. So, how you adjust your body is adjusting the density of the food you put in your body. As soon as you start putting in complex molecules that are heavy, that are dense, then your body will follow that. And that's how you build mass. That's how you build muscle. That's how you build fat. And as soon as you start reducing the density, going on like lighter vegetables, say lettuces, and then go on fruits, and then go on juices, then go on water, then go dry. That's how your body starts adjusting backwards and starts to reduce the density. That's how it starts dropping the tissue.
Got it.
Because it doesn't need it anymore.
Right. Right.
It doesn't have a break on it, so it can throw out everything what's not necessary.
Right.
And then this is how bodybuilding works on this lifestyle. Not just this lifestyle, but in general as well. So the filthier, the more filth you put in your body, the more mass you can build.
Okay, so just eating more quantities of the fruits, basically. Is that? You
can eat how much fruit you want. You will not be able to gain mass anymore. It is not possible. I tried it. At some point I ate like 5,000 calories of fruits only.
Okay, so that's not the way. Okay, I must have misunderstood. So what do you mean by density?
So I tried many things in the last 3 years. I tried high calorie, there is no such thing, but this is how people understand.
Right.
So high calorie intake of fruits only, like 5,000, even above, like probably 6,000 whatsoever.
Right.
It was really good, but still I couldn't. There was a plateau that I couldn't break through, just because my body was too efficient, to gain more muscle. to be able to withstand the inflammation. So it just clears out. So if you're on fruits only, as I said, you can be lean and you can be muscular, but you will not be able to hold a significant muscle mass on your body.
Okay, so what do people need to eat? Sorry.
And then in addition to this, you cleanse your colon, right?
Yes.
So you further increase everything. You further increase the flow of the lymphatic system,
True.
the blood flow and everything. And that doesn't allow you to get inflamed tissue on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And it stops the whole process. You will be able to probably sustain.
Yeah.
But you will not be able to go beyond that point. So this is where mucuslean.
Oh, mucusless. Okay, so do mucusless foods. Got it.
And this is where the compromise starts.
Okay, got
because
it.
So you have to compromise yourself and decide whether do I want to be more muscular, and what do I have to give for that? Because you will have to give something in return.
Got it.
And that will be the mental energy, that will be the spiritual energy, and all that, that you care about. I do care about this, and it feels bad, but I want to achieve something, so I do it. I do what it takes. I will not be doing it for 10 years. I will be doing it for a couple or a few years, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is not what I want to do on the long run.
Okay, so it's a short-term goal for now.
I'm very much a spiritual guy, so it just feels so bad that it takes away all that energy.
Got it.
What I had before. But I know that one day I will be there again, so I'm not worried about it. So
yeah,
it's just a temporary stuff,
That's right. Can you give us an example of what you eat in a day? What do you eat now at this point in your transition?
Okay, so this is my bulking period, and it's very hard because I'm experimenting with food, different foodstuffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not. What I did first, I reduced the fruit amount and I increased the green amount of my diet, and that gave me a huge boost.
Uh-huh.
That was like, it's like a big boom in my body, which was really eye-opening for me, because that told me, that was a clear sign that, okay, you can do something, you can go to an extent on an whole fruit diet.
Right.
But from a point, there is no gain. There is no gain, because you have to, and this is what I said earlier, you have to increase the density of your diet.
Got it.
And
okay.
density starts with greens.
Greens. Okay.
So that's the first thing I did, and it made a change, a huge change. And then I started to go more into mucuslean foods. Started to increase the number of ingredients in my salad, for example, because I started eating salads, making it heavier, and now I got to the point where I have to say that I have to stop because it's just too much.
Okay.
So it does work. So what you need to understand, that you have to cycle things.
Oh.
You cannot sustain like the same diet if you're walking. You can't keep one thing for months, because it will screw you up.
Okay, I see.
You have to, because this is getting back. This is stepping back like 2 steps or 3 steps or 4 steps even before you would enter a very filthy area, like the dairy and all that. You don't want to do that.
Right.
So you want to find out from all fruit what is the next, the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
How far you can stretch this in order to create field in your body, but not too much, not going too far. So this is the mucusless diet healing system and the transitioning, and this is very, very beneficial in this lifestyle and meanwhile doing bodybuilding, because it has so much wisdom, and you know what food to touch, how to eat right, and how to combine foods and what not to eat, and all that.
Right.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing cycles, shorter, longer cycles with different foods. There is no certain regime at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
But what I do is create a balance in every day. Every day, so I look at it every day. Okay, Attila, how much Mucusless you ate and how much Mucuslean you ate. And then I compare the two, and if it's in balance, if I eat, I try to eat more Mucusless, of course, so I want to keep it higher.
Okay,
as
got
clean
it.
as possible.
So there's not an
And
exact...
then I look at it and I say, if I'm right, then then it's about, say, 80% Mucusless and 20% Mucuslean. That's what I try to keep.
Okay. So you said 20% mucus lean, 80% mucus free.
Sorry?
Sorry, repeat that. 80%.
80% fruits.
Okay,
and
got it.
20%
Okay, 80%
other.
fruit. So that's still quite that's really good.
Yeah.
80% fruits, 20% mucus lean. Got it. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm really...
And then it changes when you start leaning out. Obviously, leaning out is something I had to experiment because before I started bulking, I had done a lot of intermittent fasting, so I ate once a day, maybe twice a day.
Oh, you
fruits.
Eat once a day or twice a day.
And then I had 2 juices, one in the morning and one during workout or before workout, during a workout, and that was it. So when I went home, I did not eat.
Got it.
I went to bed and I dry fasted. And I dry fasted a lot on an everyday basis. I think it was probably 18 hours a day or something like that.
Wow.
That got me really lean.
Right.
But I had a small body. It was a light, lean, let's say muscular body, veiny body, which was really nice and it was okay. But because what I want to do is send my message out to a wider audience, to the guys who actually still believe that eating meat, eating rice, and being on this average bodybuilding regime is good, is healthy, because we know that it's not. And I want to show them that, look,
yeah.
I just look at me.
That's right.
This is possible on fruits. So,
Absolutely.
What do you have to say to this? And because,
beautiful.
What are we talking about? It's not even veganism, It's not even like, vegan junk and stuff like that.
That's right.
It's clean. It's
clean.
a very conscious vegan regime.
I love it.
Which includes cleaning the colon and all that,
Yeah, enema time.
Yes, exactly.
So beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for sharing your story and just your I know it was a kind of a quick overview on how to build muscle, but I think this is a good start for people to just kind of start to get an idea that, if they still believe in, these myths about needing meat, needing dairy to bulk up, that's just so far from the truth. So I just want to start waking people up. So I'm so happy that you're here on this planet, and I definitely want to get you back on my channel again, that's for sure, because we're just getting started. But I know people who are listening in now who want to work with you, who are like, okay, this makes sense, I want to learn more from Attila. How can they get a hold of you? Like, what's your website if they want to get coaching from you? And I'll also put it in the details below.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, so the website is called naturesathlete.co.uk.
Beautiful.
And there I have 3 ebooks, and I also will be offering products that I believe they're very advantageous on transitioning.
Awesome.
Say now I have a very nice coffee alternative, which is made in the US, and I started importing it. And it's made of wild-crafted herbs, and it's a beautiful blend.
Perfect.
And I was, it's just off the chisel stuff. And this is the products I would like to offer to people. And also, there you can find the coaching opportunity, coaching options. So yeah, there's everything.
That's wonderful, wonderful. And I know you've got Instagram and Facebook, so I'll put those links below so people can follow you. And
under Nature's Athlete, everybody can find me.
Oh, awesome. I love it. I love your branding. I love it so much. Yes. And so yeah, so like if there's anyone just on the fence right now, they're like, oh, I don't know, this sounds right, but I'm scared to give up my meat. What would you leave this person with if you were to give a final quote to kind of close this interview? What quote or what would you like to say to someone who's on the fence about going more clean to bodybuild?
You know, the reason why I'm doing the Nature's Athlete is that having a profile where people can come and take a look. It's a documentary of my current life. It's a flow, it's a process. And instead of saying anything like a quote or something, I'd say, come and take a look. Come and follow me. Not just me, because I'm not the only one, you know.
Right.
There are many people out there doing similar or same stuff. Find these people, take a look, and decide for yourself.
Oh, I love
because,
it.
And if you feel like it, take action. Because nothing happens without taking an action.
Beautiful. Come and take a look. Yep, and take action if you feel like it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, so much more I want to ask you. But gosh, that's it.
Yeah,
that's all we have in time right now. But for our audience, if you have questions for Attila, for our next interview, please put your questions down in the comment section. We'll read them, we'll see what the most common questions are, and we'll address them in the next interview. So thank you so much for being on my show. I really appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us. This is so cool. I learned a lot. I was taking notes the whole time, even though I'm not a bodybuilder. I still want to learn. So yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me and thinking of me as a subject.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been eyeing you for a while. So, yes. Thank you so much again. Have a beautiful night there in the UK. It's morning here. Until next time. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.